The Galactic Academy's Xenobiology lab hummed with the nervous energy of first-year cadets. Alexa stood among a cluster of alien students, her human frame noticeably smaller than most of her classmates. The Thaxian beside her towered at nearly 8 feet, while the crystalline Valorian on her other side refracted the harsh laboratory lights into dancing rainbows across the sterile walls. Instructor Zepharok, a four-armed Cortellian with skin like burnished copper, moved between the containment units with practiced grace. His secondary hands manipulated holographic displays while his primary hands gestured emphatically. "Today," Zepharok announced, his translator rendering his clicks and whistles into standard, "we examine Category 5 biohazards. These organisms represent lethal threats to most known species in the galaxy." Alexa leaned forward, genuinely interested. She'd joined the Academy 6 months ago, one of only 3 humans in the entire institution. Earth had only recently joined the Galactic Coalition, and humans were still considered oddities, soft, pink creatures from a backwater world that had somehow survived long enough to develop space travel. Knox, her assigned lab partner, and the only other human in her cohort, sidled up beside her. His dark hair was perpetually disheveled, and he wore the same easy grin that had gotten them both into trouble more than once. "10 credits says he's going to faint when he sees what's in that case," Knox whispered, nodding toward a pale green Morellian student who already looked queasy. Shalexa hissed, but she couldn't suppress her smile. Zepharok activated the first containment field. A creature that resembled a cross between a scorpion and a mantis materialized in the holographic display, magnified to show every terrifying detail. Its stinger dripped with viscous purple fluid. The Arachnix mortalis, the Instructor intoned gravely, native to the death worlds of the Kepler rim. Its venom attacks the nervous system of carbon-based life forms. Death occurs in approximately 43 seconds. There is no antivenom. Survival rate, 0%. The class collectively shuddered. The Morellian student went from pale green to nearly white. Knox raised his hand. "Instructor, what's the toxicity rating?" "On the standard galactic venom index, the Arachnix rates a perfect 10, the highest possible classification." Zepharok's eyes swept the room seriously. "Even a scratch from this creature means certain death." Alexa studied the hologram. Her head tilted. Something about the venom's molecular structure looked familiar. She pulled up her personal datapad and began cross-referencing. "This particular specimen," Zepharok continued, "was collected at great cost. 3 experienced xenobiologists perished in the retrieval mission. We keep it here as a reminder of the dangers that await you in deep space exploration. Instructor." Alexa's voice cut through the somber mood. Zepharok's eyes focused on her. "Yes, Cadet Alexa. The molecular structure of this venom is primarily a peptide-based neurotoxin with phospholipase A2 enzymes." "Correct." The instructor's translator crackled as he accessed the data. "That is remarkably accurate. You have a keen eye for biochemistry." Knox was grinning now, that mischievous glint in his eye that meant trouble. "Back home we call that a bee sting." The laboratory fell silent. Every alien head turned toward the 2 humans. "I beg your pardon?" Zepharok's voice carried a note of disbelief. Alexa shot Knox a warning look, but the damage was done. She sighed and pulled up her Earth biology database. "He's exaggerating, but not entirely wrong, Instructor. The venom profile you're showing is actually less complex than what we encounter from several terrestrial species." "Impossible." The word came out flat. "Honeybees, certain wasps, some species of ants, they all produce similar neurotoxic compounds." Alexa displayed the comparative molecular structures. "The Arachnix venom is definitely more concentrated, but the mechanism is nearly identical to what Earth insects use." The Thaxian student looked horrified. "Your world has creatures that produce Category 5 venom? How do you survive?" Knox shrugged. "We just do. Most people get stung a few times in their life. It hurts, you get some swelling, maybe pop an antihistamine, and you're fine. Most people." Zepharok seemed to struggle with the concept. "You mean this exposure is common?" "Common enough," Alexa confirmed. "We have a small percentage of the population that's allergic anaphylaxis. Can be fatal if untreated, but the vast majority of humans handle bee stings without issue." The instructor's forearms moved rapidly across his displays. cross-checking the data. Minutes passed in tense silence. Finally, he looked up, and if a Cortellian could look shaken, Zefrak certainly did. According to these readings, a human's natural biochemistry includes sufficient antibodies and immune responses to neutralize most peptide-based neurotoxins of this class. He paused, studying Alexa and Nox with new eyes. Your homeworld. What classification is Earth? We're listed as Category 3, I think, Nox said. Moderately dangerous? No. Zefrak's voice was quiet now. Based on this data, Earth should be classified as a Category 8 death world. Only 6 other planets in known space carry that designation. The classroom erupted in whispered conversations. Alexa felt dozens of eyes on her, seeing her differently now, not as a soft, fragile human, but as something that had evolved to survive horrors that would kill most of them instantly. The retrieval mission, the Morellian student said weakly. The 3 xenobiologists who died would have lived if they'd brought a human along. Nox finished, his grin fading. Yeah, we're getting that. Alexa met Zefrak's gaze steadily. Instructor, perhaps Earth's biology database should be added to the Academy's xenohazard protocols. It might save lives. The Cortellian's forearms folded in what she'd learned was a gesture of deep respect. Cadet Alexa, I believe you may have just revolutionized our entire approach to xenobiology. Welcome to the galaxy. We clearly have much to learn from humanity. As the class resumed, Nox leaned over and whispered, Still want those 10 credits. Pretty sure our boy over there is definitely going to faint now. Alexa couldn't help but laugh.